Today we want to talk about our global issue, depression. Depression affects millions of people around the world, yet is often misunderstood or overlooked. It's more than just feeling sad, it's a serious mental health condition that can impact every part of a person's life. Our first question related to depression is, what are the common signs and symptoms? Depression, also known as depressive disorder, is a rather common mental disorder involving a depressed mood and a loss of pleasure for everyday activities over an extended period of time. Depression, unlike regular sadness, affects every aspect of one's life. 3.8% of the population is estimated to have experienced depression. The common signs and symptoms are as follows: feeling sad, irritable, low self-worth, suicidal thoughts and tendencies, hopelessness, lack of sleep, lack of motivation or energy, and a lost appetite. Depression, despite being a mental illness, is closely linked to one's physical health and is known to cause problems in school, work, and general day-to-day life, even being known to cause spontaneous aches and pains. Symptoms of depression can vary depending on the age of a person. The base symptoms stay the same with the addition of cleanliness in younger children and memory loss in older adults. Signs of depression can manifest in things as simple as an abnormally unclean bedroom, or in things slightly more serious as notable personality changes, skipping meals, or avoiding social interactions, and other notable signs.
So what are the common risk factors and causes of depression? Well, people who develop depression tend to have biological differences in their brain, but it's unsure what exactly these differences are at the moment.
But theories include the monoamine theory, which suggests that a lack of monoamine neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine is the cause. There is evidence to support this. However, lower serotonin levels in healthy individuals do not cause depression, and antidepressants instantly replenish neurotransmitter levels, but the effects are not felt for several weeks. Other theories include abnormalities in the hypothalamic pituitary axis, as people with depression have demonstrated elevated cortisol levels and less dexamethasone suppression. There is also thought to be a link between thyroid hormone and growth hormone levels with depression. Immune system abnormalities may also be involved, including excessive cytokine release. This is suggested by the improvement of symptoms on non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and normalization of cytokine levels after treatment. This may also explain closer links with immune-related diseases like asthma.
Depression is also more common in those who have a blood relative that have experienced it before. However, researchers are still trying to figure out what genes may be involved in causing depression. Some risk factors also include people with personality traits such as low self-esteem, being too dependent, and being too hard on oneself. Traumatic or stressful events that have happened previously in someone's life may also lead to them having depression.
Diathesis stress model, represented by these two cups. It states that a stressful event on a pre-existing vulnerability means an increased likelihood of developing depression. So from two people experiencing the same stress, one may develop depression while the other may not, visualized as the contents of the cup spilling over.
How exactly does depression affect one? How exactly does depression affect one's relationships with the people around them?
Not very good.
A study on family members of depressed people.
Why is so serious?
A study on family members of depressed people shows that many feel ignored by health professionals regarding the care of their loved ones. Family members of the depressed have also been found likely to develop depression themselves, facing an increased risk of psychological distress. Fear and anxiety are common traits of those caring for a loved one with depression, as they live not knowing if that person is truly ever safe, that be from suicidal tendencies or just a general crippling sadness. For example, mothers coping with the fact that their son is experiencing depression often experience guilt themselves, feeling responsible. It is important for peers to manage their responses to a diagnosis of depression in their circle, as a reaction not only affects themselves, but can also affect that person with depression. This is going in the presentation, I hope you know that. I'm not editing anything out. It is important for peers to educate themselves on depression and be a healthy support system for their loved one. Telling a person who's depressed that their depression is making you depressed is about the worst possible thing one can do.
Wait a minute.
People with depression that have an unhealthy support system can feel like a burden. People experiencing depression that have a positive support system are much more likely to show improvement or stick to their treatments. In a family setting, it is important to monitor the whole family's well-being so intervention can take place early on. Family therapy is often recommended. There is evidence that a parent's depressive state can also have a profound impact on their children, which can lead to things like the child themselves developing depression, an anxiety disorder, or even ADHD. Parental depression has even been linked to future substance abuse in children.
For the solution, prescription medicines. Yep. SSRIs stand for selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors are the first option for treatment against depression. The most common are fluoxetine, paroxetine, fluvoxamine, citalopram, and sertraline. SNRIs work by increasing both serotonin and norepinephrine levels in the brain. Examples include duloxetine, venlafaxine, and desvenlafaxine. You should try to take antidepressants consistently every day because the effects need a few weeks to take effect. Will this solution work? This solution works for most people, but you have to stick to a schedule of taking the medicine every day or every time you are supposed to, because if you miss it, it becomes a cycle of forgetting, and then the medicine is useless. Some prescriptions are more effective and common for treating it than others. Solution number 2, therapy. Make therapy more common and less stigmatized. There are many forms of therapy, including cognitive behavioral therapy, psychotherapy, and a couple others that we won't focus on. Psychotherapy can help teach depressed people ways of coping with it and dealing with their issues in their own way by changing how they think, behave, and act that could be contributing to their depression. Through CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, people learn to challenge and change unhelpful thoughts and behaviors to improve their depressive feelings. Will this solution work? Why or why not? There is no guarantee that any solution to this issue will work 100%. However, when combined with the other solution and increasing awareness and supporting for people struggling with depression, we can help to reduce numbers and assist in as many ways as we can. Yeah.
Which solution will be best? There is no one definite solution to depression. Everyone works differently and requires different things, so having a variety of solutions available and easy to access is the best way we can solve this global issue. Some people require just talking to somebody, and then some people need that paired with meds. Other people only need meds. Depression is such a broad spectrum that it varies so much case to case.